My stepmom told me I wasn't part of this family, that I was just a guest in her house until my dad came to his senses, so I acted like one. She wasn't ready for what that meant. My dad was leaving for a 10-day business trip, and the second his car disappeared around the corner, Clarissa called a family meeting. Her and her son Dustin on the couch, me standing like I was about to be sentenced. She slid a piece of paper across the coffee table with this smug little smile. A chore chart. My name was on every single task. Cooking, cleaning, dishes, laundry, dog, yard. Dustin's column was completely empty. This is how things will run while your father is gone. I stared at it. Dustin doesn't have anything. Dustin is my son. You're a guest here. She leaned back and crossed her arms. This is my house. You're just here until your father comes to his senses and sends you back to your mother where you belong. Her house. That's what she called it now. Even though my dad bought it 3 years before he even met her. I looked at the chart, then at her, then back at the chart. You want me to be a guest? That's what you are. I nodded slowly. Okay, I'll be a guest. I took the paper and walked to my room without another word. Clarissa smiled like she'd just won the war. She had absolutely no idea what she'd started. Day 1, Clarissa waited for dinner to be made. I stayed in my room. Around 7 o'clock, she knocked once. Didn't wait for an answer. Aren't you making dinner? Guests don't cook. Silence. Footsteps walking away. She ordered pizza that night. $45 on my dad's card. Day 2, the dishes started piling up. Laundry overflowed from the hamper onto the bathroom floor. The dog whined at the back door for an hour straight before Clarissa finally noticed. Walk the dog, she yelled through my door. Guests don't walk dogs. Day 3, Dustin had no clean clothes for school. Clarissa tried to do laundry herself and shrunk his favorite hoodie. He screamed at her until his voice cracked, and she screamed right back. I put in my earbuds and did homework. Day 4, the kitchen smelled like something had died. Trash overflowing. Fruit flies circling the sink like vultures. I ordered my own food with my own money and ate in my room like a guest at a hotel. Day 5, Clarissa pounded on my door hard enough to shake the frame. This is ridiculous. You're being a child. You said I was a guest in your house. Guests don't do housework. Check any hotel policy. That's not what I meant. That's what you said. Day 6, the house was falling apart. The house she loved to call hers, even though she'd contributed nothing to it. Clarissa and Dustin were at each other's throats constantly. Turns out neither of them knew how to do anything. Day 7, she tried a different approach. Sweet voice through the door, dripping with fake kindness. I think we got off on the wrong foot. Why don't you come have dinner with us? Like family? I thought I wasn't family. Just a guest. In your house. Silence. Day 8, I heard her on the phone with my dad, voice cracking like she was about to cry. She's been impossible. Locked in her room, refuses to help with anything. I've tried everything. I recorded every word, screenshotted the chore chart, documented everything. Day 9, dad texted that he was coming home tomorrow. Clarissa panicked, tried to clean her precious house but didn't know where anything went. Burned dinner, cried in the kitchen while Dustin played video games. I stayed in my room like a good guest. Day 10, dad walked through the front door and froze. The house he'd owned for over a decade looked like it had been abandoned for a month. Dishes stacked in the sink, trash bags by the door, the dog hiding under the table, and a smell that hit you the second you stepped inside. Clarissa rushed to him before he could even set down his bag. Thank God you're home. She did this. She refused to do anything. Dustin appeared behind her nodding. She's crazy. Seriously. My dad looked past both of them to where I stood on the stairs. What happened? I walked down calmly and handed him my phone. Before you left, Clarissa gave me this chore chart. Every single chore in the house assigned to me. Dustin had nothing. He looked at the screen. His jaw tightened. She told me I wasn't part of this family, that I was just a guest in her house until you came to your senses and sent me back to mom. I swiped to the next screen. So I acted like a guest. Guests don't cook. Guests don't clean. Guests don't do laundry. I played the recordings. Clarissa calling me a guest. Clarissa calling the house hers. Clarissa on the phone blaming me for everything. Her own voice filling the room. Dad turned to her slowly. You told my daughter she wasn't family? In my house? The house I bought years before I even knew you existed? Clarissa's mouth opened. Nothing came out. You tried to make her do every chore while your son did nothing? She's exaggerating. I'm looking at the chart you wrote. In your handwriting. Clarissa and Dustin stayed at a hotel that night. Turns out she was the guest after all.